And we're on. I didn't know if we were actually pressing the button there. So hello, hello, hello. It is so good to have you on here. And it's Sheena Cantar, as usual. I haven't changed places. Maybe one day we'll swap our names over.
I know.
We could pretend to be somebody else.
And good morning, I'm Bobbi Joe, and this is Conversations with Bobbi Joe and Sheena. And this morning, if you're not sure about what a Marco Polo is, it's an app on the phone, picture of my husband, yeah. And it's a app on your phone that you can leave videos. And so Sheena is 6 hours ahead of me, so I wake up every morning to a good morning text, and a lot of times there might be 5 or 6 as she's on her walk and she's hiking up a mountain, downloading some great information. And this morning she said that she was thinking about the book As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. So it made me go up in my bookshelf here and pull it out. And what were you just saying, Sheena? You have read it before, but.
Clearly, I hadn't read it.
And that's what we're going to talk about today is that, you might have learned something once, but then you come back a year or two or 10 years later, and it's a completely different thing. And it's not that the materials changed, but that we have changed. And like our lenses and the way we look at life have changed. So take it away, Sheena. What do you want to say about this today?
Well, absolutely. I mean, that's the thing that really, like, I was so involved in getting knowledge, because Bob said, it's the knowledge that's going to change everything. But I was literally just gathering knowledge. So I would have read As a Man Thinketh and gone, yeah, I get that, I get that, I get that. But I was not demonstrating it at all. Not, I thought I was. I didn't like literally put a little blind on and go, I thought I was demonstrating it. But before I used to go like 50 books a year. Now I can get stuck on one sentence. Like, remember that time, Bobby Joe, when we were in the traveling in your big car, in your big truck, and you said, "Oh, just read this for me." And I read the first sentence of this book, and I just got stuck there. And I was like, "What does that mean? How am I supposed to live that? What does that mean for me?" Because it's asking me to look at me inside and change something that is already there. It's not that you're making yourself better, but it's like maybe it's here, but there's all this crap on top of it. And so to get to it, so one of our lessons in thinking into results is lesson 8, and it's about praxis. And so I was one of those people. I probably still am, since I'm saying one of those people that was too top heavy, too much knowledge, and not in the demonstration of it. And praxis demands, and the universe demands, and the law demands that you demonstrate. It is not about the knowledge. You can know all that you want, but reading that book again, wow, it blew me away. And I'm like, oh my goodness.
Do you think it had a lot to do with ego back in the day? Like, oh, I know this stuff. Like, I've studied this. I've taken 10 other courses. I know this stuff. And so we're coming at it at a place of ego that we can't help. I mean, it's being human being, people. And it is. And it talks about here that, and you just said it earlier in a Marco Polo, it's being a master is watching every thought. The ego's not too busy watching. It's too busy already knowing it all.
Yes.
So so
I
those
get
of you out
it.
there knowing it, so if those of you out there and you're like, what are these girls doing? I already know this stuff. Really? Come on. It's like a marathon runner. You just don't give up running. You got to keep up with it. Keep up with the game. Keep on your game. And that's exactly here with mindset stuff. It's exactly here in working with us. And that I love it here. I kind of look through. It said here, and I love it. It said, good thoughts and actions can never produce bad results. Bad thoughts and actions can never produce good results. So it's all about your thoughts, all about in every moment. That judgment when you're driving down the road and you're just kind of in zoning and you see somebody with their loud music pass you or thumping. Don't sometimes we get in our head like, why are they not turning down that shitty music? But right, why are we judging it? Just put up your windows and play your own music. Right? Don't
It's,
look over there. Look in
yeah,
your lane.
yeah. And what you said there was that, good thoughts will only produce, good results. But sometimes we think we've been doing the good thoughts, and then we see perhaps what we think is bad results. And that's what you're saying, Bobby Joe, about the judgment. So what I have learned to do in my mind is just going, well, I only have good thoughts, and everything is always working out for me, and I only see good things. Therefore, this must be good. I just don't know. I don't understand what this is. Help me understand. and clearly this must be good. So what that helps me do is it literally helps me drop the situation rather than holding on to it. Because if I judge it, then I'm fighting it, and then I'm fighting myself, because who the hell else is there to fight here? Because it's only me. I think it's them, but the music, no, it's not. It's me. I'm the one feeling it. And I can tell you what, like where, Wolfgang and I have been brought to at the moment is all we have left is to trust the process, that we have brought ourselves to a place. Then there was a situation this morning and we were led again. And actually, it was about judging somebody else. Did we trust them or not? And I
Oh.
asked the question, this is praxis. So this is like,
Mm.
I asked the question, who is it that we're mistrusting? It's ourselves. And so I immediately brought it back home and made peace with it. And I said, well, I trust me and I trust where we're going. I just haven't a clue how we're getting there. So this must be worthy of trust because it's presented to us. And I know that only good things happen. So we've said yes to something and then we step forward. And it's like, we don't know where it's going to lead, but it's not up to us to how. We
Mhm.
know this is where where we are, but there appears to be a time lag and a journey there. There appears to be, but we have to just trust the process. And that's to me what I've really picked up on the lesson this morning about praxis. It's just, I've got nothing left except to trust what's going on and just take one step at a time. So that's just me in a little personal note this morning anyway.
And it is, and if only you knew what's going on with Miss Sheena Kantar and her boyfriend Wolfgang. They're amazing people, and this is really your praxis exactly. And you keep saying the word trust, but what I kept hearing in my head was faith.
Mhm.
Faith that you know exactly where it is that you're going and you don't need to figure out the steps. That's the trust of knowing you don't have to have that secure footing before you take that next step, that you are walking on water, that you are going, this is what I'm born to do. This is in alignment with who I am. Because it's not always going to be easy and be like, oh, there's a red rose, so or Hansel and Gretel, there's breadcrumbs following you that are going to get there. Sometimes it is like we talked about yesterday about fear, jumping out of that airplane and knowing the parachute is going to open. You have faith, right? Trusting in ourselves that I know where I'm going, It's like that conviction. But I find that a lot of times with the clients that people just don't know what they want. But you know what they do? Two things. One, they know what they don't want. Well, do you want to be a lifeguard? No. Do you want to be an astronaut? No. Okay, we know some things. And then the other thing is that we know what we want, but it's like this little thing that's deep inside. And so many people have shoveled dirt and sand over it saying, you can't do that. You're not good enough. You're not this. You're not that. And so it's the belief that's deep in there. And I've said this before that TIR is a lot of growth in the mindset, but it's really unbecoming all those paradigms, the cultural paradigms, family paradigms that were put upon you through society, through decades to get here. And then it's like that little box is there, that little gift of who you are can start to shine and be bright. But it's about having the awareness, I say it every day, of what it is that you want and why, because sometimes with people, it's so buried. That's what I find. And it's hard to find our real truth and to find our voice.
And that's the thing that one of the things that I've come to realize is that, I mean, we think they're buried. We think we've been here for 13 billion years. And, if we've got 13 billion years of data to actually go through, my God, that's what takes us so bloody long. That's why if you go to counseling, you'll be there forever and a day, because this consciousness is one consciousness. It's one person's mind, isn't it? And so
Yeah.
it's the one mind and we're all in it. So what I've recognized now is that everything is moment by moment by moment. There's a period where you think, we're clear and stuff, but actually it is a moment by moment decision. How do I want to feel now? How do I want to feel now? How do I want to feel now? So I have a wee mantra that goes on and on in my head. And what I really, really understand now is that the only thing that we have is unconditional love, which is what we are. We have love, we have gratitude, and we have forgiveness. And so that is my mantra. I guess where that comes from, Bobby Joe, Ho'oponopono.
Yes.
Like I'd come to the conclusion and then I went, oh, look, it's Ho'oponopono. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. Thank you. And I went, funny, everything is saying the same thing. I've
Yeah.
been studying the Quran this morning with Zareb, and I'm like, look at it there. It's saying the same thing. And yet, why are religions arguing? Because there's every personal development, religion, science. Bob said this. It's like the the center is the same for everybody, but we're all coming at it from different ways, and we all think our way's right. Well, it is right. Guess what? It is right, as long as that's because this is where you end up.
Yeah, because it's
Truly
your
amazing.
truth. You know, what did you say? Oh, you kept saying, what do I want to feel now? What do I want to feel now? What do I want to feel now? That's the vibration. We mentioned that a little bit yesterday, so you can go back through the YouTube channel and figure that one out. But it's just about the vibration. Where do I want to be now? Do I want to be angry? Do I want to be sad? Do I want to be reactive? You talked about that 13 million. Will you please explain that a little bit more? I
Well,
never,
that was
yeah, I
my
get
number,
it.
actually, 13 million, but 13 billion. So
Oh, billion.
we've apparently evolved over 13 billion years, you know. So
Okay.
we've been here, you know, not humans themselves, but you know, like the Big Bang apparently happened 13 billion years ago. So, you know, if we have to go back and figure out who we are, we'd have to go back that long. But yet everything quantum physics actually tells us that the Big Bang is here and now, that, you know, timeline isn't from right to left, it's literally here now, because when it was the Big Bang, it was now.
Hmm.
And when it becomes the year 5000, it'll still be now. So there only ever is the now.
I
So it's
know.
kind of funny that, you know, we're taught in schools about evolution whenever science has even shown us that we're light. So how does light evolve? You know, and it's the stories that are evolving. But we discussed that about goodness knows how many things ago about the stories that we tell ourselves. But yes, it's moment by moment. Well, what's your story now, Sheena? Is it poor me or rich me? Well, which one do you want? Well, clearly I want the rich me. Well, then, what does she say? How does she talk? And it's a moment by moment. And like as you said, Bobby Joe, the master is watching your thoughts moment by moment. And I thought that's a lot of hard work. But like my mum said, she said, I said, why don't you think, oh, this is really easy to hold on to. This is solid. I can lean on this on the way past. I don't want to be thinking like that. That's too much effort. So her thought system was, I'm going to fall, I'm going to fall, I'm going to fall, I'm going
Mm.
to hip. And guess what? She fell and broke her hip. So it was too much effort to hang on to something, to look at a door handle and go, that's solid, let me get to there. And to hold on to the wall as she was walking past. That was too much effort. Can we believe that that's what we do to ourselves?
And
So
that's the
she
word
didn't
right there,
want to.
belief.
Yeah, so she didn't want to fall and break her hip. So her praxis was out because she was demonstrating that she did and she got what she wanted. Isn't it amazing?
Yes, it is. And that's what it said here. Suffering is always the effect of wrong thought in some direction. Let's drop the mic, people, right there. All right, that was a good one for
Better than
today.
that.
Yep, just quick notes. Pay attention to the thoughts. What are you thinking? Are you creating or are you disintegrating what you want? Because if you're thinking of that belief that it can't happen, guess what? You are 100% right then. You don't have to be. You just need to shift that paradigm, shift that view, shift that lens. Get into alignment with who you really are. Be a badass. Just get out there and do you, right? That's all I got.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Be a badass and do you. Unconditional love doesn't have any morals, but there will be some kickback if you decide to, you know, do an immoral thing. Just wanted to put that out there. But unconditional love is loving yourself head to toe, whatever. So, with
Everything.
that in mind, it's goodbye from Sheena.
Goodbye from Bobby Joe. We'll see you soon.
See you again. See you next time.